Oh, my goodness. Torpedo Law. Torpedo Law says, I cut my finger today following your new video on how to hand launch drones. Good. I told you you shouldn't do that. I told you. This is dangerous. Don't do this. And then you did it anyway and you cut your finger. That's why I told you not to do it. I'm sorry you cut your finger. That sucks for you. I hope it heals up nicely and leaves you a nice little scar to remind you that you judged this one wrong. You bit off more than you could chew. You failed to take adequate safety precautions, and you paid the price. Thankfully, you learned this lesson only for the cost of a cut finger, which all in all is a relatively small price to pay. And you will remember this lesson going forward. Or if you're a certain kind of person, you will just continue doing dumb shit that you're not capable of pulling off successfully and injuring yourself until eventually you take yourself out of the gene pool, probably not before you breed, because that's how the world is. And your children will have to learn the same lessons as you because you won't be there to teach them because you did something stupid. Does that sound... That's a sad story. For the sake of your future children, spend tonight looking at your cut finger and thinking about how you ended up in this situation. Reevaluate your life and do better next time. It hurts. It's tough, but it's what you needed to hear. Yell louder, Daddy. Ooh, ooh. I disagree. I disagree with the people who say there's no point at all to hand launching. And by the way, I say that with all of the disclaimers that hand launching is dangerous and you shouldn't do it. If you hand launch just to look cool, by God, you better be sure you don't mess it up. But because looking cool isn't that valuable most of the time. You know? Like I've done toss launches because I wanted to look cool. And I did them in situations where looking cool was very important and there were people who really needed to be impressed. And one time I did a toss launch and the quad failed to arm. And it just went beep, 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 thump. And the people I was trying to impress were not impressed. And so, you know, high risk, high reward, I guess is what I would say about that. People still talking about hand catching. Here's the thing about hand launching, hand catching. There are times when you legitimately need to hand launch. Now, you may never have run into those times. But I made that video because I have resisted making a video about hand launching for a long time because it's unsafe. And I thought, I'm not going to encourage people to do things that are unsafe. No matter how many disclaimers I put on it, I will not feel good about doing that. And I was talking to some folks who really, really wanted me to find the safest possible way for them to hand launch and toss launch. And while thinking about that, I thought about the PID at min throttle, which would cause the quad not to fight you. And I know that I didn't invent PID at min throttle. That's just Mr. Steele's idle up. KISS has done that for years. I would like to explicitly say the whole time I was making that video, I was thinking people are going to comment, KISS has done this for years. KISS has done this for years. That's absolutely true. But there are times when hand launching is the option that you need, and it's not just about wanting to look cool. And I thought, okay, I'm convinced that I will now make a video about trying to hand launch as safely as possible. But if you're saying there's never a reason why you need to hand launch, Well, yeah, I don't think I agree with you. I think that most people who hand launch just do it because it looks cool. And it's probably not worth the risk. Hand launching from a boat. Thank you, Super Deluxe. Exactly. Super Deluxe. If you're on a boat and the boat is bouncing in the waves and you need to launch a drone, how are you going to launch it? It will just tip over. The way to do it is to hand launch it. That's how you do it.